You can spend months building your product, and the worst thing that can happen is launching to complete silence. Not because the product is bad, but because most marketers and founders, they wing their launch and hope that the post is going to do all of the job. My name is Renat, and I specialize in tech product launches. In the last few months alone, I launched Crunched, Poly, and Snow Globe that all got millions of views, funding, and real users. And the difference wasn't a magical viral tweet. It was this exact SaaS launch checklist that we've been treating as our secret sauce. In this video, I'm giving you that exact launch checklist, every step that we follow. You can grab the link to it down in the description below to make sure that your launch actually gets seen. Let's do it. I split this template into 3 distinct sections. Number 1 is launch assets. Then we have pre-launch activation, and of course the launch itself. By the way, you can duplicate this template over here and start checking things off as we go. Let's get started. The first part is the launch assets. There are 3 main things that you'll need to have in place, and they take anywhere from 2 weeks to sometimes a few months, depending on the speed of shipping that you have. So the first thing is the launch post. The second one is the launch video, and then we have the landing page to actually convert attention into users. Let's go ahead and check out what is going to be in the launch post. We have 2 launch formats. We have the LinkedIn format and we have the Twitter format. So the LinkedIn is a platform that loves personal stories. If you post from your personal account instead of from your company account, you're going to get so much more traction. And if you talk about it from the I perspective, then it's going to do really, really well compared to saying generic things like we launched blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares about we for the most part unless they're your users or your investors. On Twitter, it is quite different. On Twitter, people are exploring what's new, what's happening. It's a news platform, so you can talk more directly about the product that you have released, what's unique about it, etc. So later on, I'll be putting together a list of viral launch posts and the formats. The second thing that we want to do is we want to actually show what is inside the product. Why is it exciting? A great example of this is going to be the Devin launch from about 1.5 years ago. I'm not sure if you remember, it went super viral. Devin is the AI software developer. This video has gotten 31 million views, which is absolutely insane. And my recommendation here is to create a thread that shows your product, shows the use cases. So if we scroll down the main launch post, here we have it. We have those short videos that explain different features. So Devin can learn unfamiliar technologies, can contribute to mature production repositories. As you can see, there's a 1.5-minute video, and this one absolutely ballistic. This is where Devin solves Upwork jobs, which was pretty insane. So we have the post itself, then we have use cases for the video, and then there's an optional strategy that has been working extremely well, and that is an engagement strategy such as a giveaway. A fantastic example of the strategy is a company called Icon. So here we have Keenan, who has created a Google Drive library of 1,000 winning ads, and then in order to get those ads, you just need to comment Icon down below, and he's going to message you with the link and with everything. As you can see, there are tons and tons of people who engage that way, and this is a fantastic signal for LinkedIn to start distributing your post. They haven't been punishing it, and we've used this exact strategy with Crunched. So here is our Crunch post. As you can see, it has gotten 3,000 likes. You can do the math in terms of how many views and impressions this video has gotten. And as you can see, comment Crunch below and we'll send you early firm access. So this is something that can work extremely well. And as you can see, we have crunched. So this strategy works like magic. But again, you want to think about something valuable for your target audience ahead of time because it takes time to build. So we have our launch post text, Next up, we have the launch video itself, and that part is something that we specialize in. So here we have a few examples that my team has put together. Those are examples of super viral videos and just fantastic creatives done over the years in the tech sector. We have different formats. We have motion graphics, which is about just the visuals on screen. Here we have the one from Gamma, which is super pretty. We have Lovable, etc. So you can check those formats out. That is all about just motion graphics showing the product. Then we have the live action format, which works extremely well to build trust. Here we have, of course, Icon. We have Listen, which is a fantastic example. So once you pick the format, you can hire a company like ours to get the video produced. There are tons and tons of pieces that come together in order to make a killer launch video. We have a 6-person team working on every video. So if you want to do it yourself, cool, you can absolutely do it if you have time capacity for it and attention. Otherwise, you can work with companies like ours. Finally, the launch page. This is a huge launch asset. You're getting so much attention, and it would be a waste of attention if you do not capitalize on it. So you need to have a good resource to turn curiosity, to turn that attention into actual interest. Here is a fantastic landing page from our client, Shreya. So this is the launch post that we did. It went really big on LinkedIn in particular. And here, after the launch post itself, we have the link to the website itself. Of course, the step-by-step explainer of how it works, and a big try it now button so that you can actually become a user. Now, a very important part as a SaaS marketer, a lot of people, they completely forget about launch pages, or they kind of half-ass it. It's like, okay, I'm just going to slap something out there, and they never test their customer journey from when they see the launch post to when a person actually inputs their credit card number. If you make that journey frictionless, you're going to get so many more paid users. So absolutely do not skip this step, because you'll be just wasting all of that attention. So simplify as much as possible the registration path. Try to drive people to value extremely quickly, meaning that they'll be able to get what they came for, instead of like asking them a million questions like, how do you find out about us, etc. Like that stuff you can actually do after you drive people to value. Then show the product to 5 real people. And by real people, I mean ideally your target audience. Just say, here's the link, here's the computer, go, right? And then they'll click around and you'll see where they get stuck, and then you'll see why they get stuck, where they're confused, and then you'll optimize that customer journey that way. Okay, awesome. We've created our launch assets, which again take anywhere from 2 weeks to a few months. Then we have a pre-launch activation, which you need to start doing about 7 days before the launch itself. First things first, we have the social media activation. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that when you go live and when you post that launch post, then people in your network actually see the post. The way LinkedIn works in particular is that LinkedIn is going to show your content first to people that have engaged with you in messages, in comments, who liked your post, etc., or who you have engaged with. And so what you want to do is you want to spend probably at least, 20 to 30 minutes every day for around 5 days straight, just going through your feed, going through your network, and just engaging, commenting, getting people warmed up so that when the moment comes, they will pay back the favor. Next up, we have your contact list. And before I show you what's inside, we have to have a real conversation. The most high value activity is not building a crazy pipeline or, doing something growth hacky. It's actually good old school reaching out to people that you already know. If you think about it, you spent probably the last decade building those relationships. So the best thing you can do is you can borrow other people's audiences, borrow other people's credibility by having them post about you. Again, this is by far the most impactful thing you can do to promote your launch post. So let's see what's inside and how to do this. First things first, we want to create a list. You can do it in Notion. We have a template for that, or you can do it in Google Sheets. There are a few groups of people who are fantastic candidates to share your post. Those are, of course, your investors. They're directly invested in your success. You have advisors, you have your employees, you have the customers, of course, and your personal network. By the way, the personal network, do not underestimate it. Hit up everybody from your college classes, from your high school. I don't care. This actually does the job. It actually does help. Next things up, we want to go through the last 100 to 200 contacts in your LinkedIn messages, WhatsApp messages, emails that you send. By the way, you can go to Claude, for example, connected to Gmail, and ask Claude to make a list of people that you've been in touch with in the last months. It's going to do magic for you. So building a list, absolutely crucial, the highest leverage activity by far. Please do not skip it if you want to have a great launch. Next things up, and this is a huge part that I think people get wrong. We need to pick our go-to marketing channels. We have limited attention, we have limited time, we have limited capital, and we do not want to just spread ourselves thin. What we want to do is we want to pick the channel that has a high likelihood of success. And that channel is different. It depends on what your strongest suits are. I'm not sure, maybe you have like a massive audience on X. Maybe you know half of Silicon Valley. Maybe you're great at influencer marketing or at advertising. There are a few things that we can do, but you should probably choose just 2 or 3 channels. You can try doing everything, but definitely double down on the things that you know are going to produce you results, because they produce you results in the past. So a few options here. Influencer marketing. Wow, we have absolutely crushed it with influencer marketing on our campaigns. If you know how to do this right, this is definitely going to make a huge difference. Email list and newsletters. So essentially, if you have a list of existing customers, I remember at Bardeen when I was launching that product, we had about, I think, 5,000 to 10,000 people on our email list. We warmed them up before so that the open rate is high enough and people are used to receiving messages from you. And you just send a message saying, hey, we launched, support us. We have your community. If you have a community on Slack or in Discord, GitHub community, you can scrape your stargazers, or you can scrape your competitors' stargazers and email the people a LinkedIn or a Twitter post. Twitter post is going to be better. Hacker News, your integration partners. If you have any marketing partnerships with other companies, this is going to be a really cool cross promotion. And finally, advertising. Okay, so you pick your go-to marketing channels, again, 2 or 3 at tops. And then we have influencer marketing. Again, this is one of the channels. You'll need to create a list of influencers. Then you'll need to come up with interesting talking points. Unfortunately, influencers are not necessarily as creative if you give them a blank slate, but if you give them some ideas, they can remix the content, or they can just repost whatever you tell them to repost. And that's pretty much it. So that strategy is not easy to do once. If you've been doing it many times before, then it can do just amazing work. We usually launch with 40 influencers that post within a 2-hour period. Again, the result is magic. So I'm probably going to record another video about that strategy alone. Finally, drum roll, the launch day comes. You're all excited. You're waking up early, nervous, probably underslept. Here is what you need to do to maximize your chances of success. The launch day execution. You want to message everyone on your list that we created earlier, and also follow up. Ask them if they have reposted. And then the best thing you can do is you can ask people directly to like, comment, or repost. It sounds crazy. When I reach out to all of my go-to contacts and the ones I have a really strong relationship with, I realized that I actually know some people who have a big audience, who have a big pool in the Silicon Valley, but I was very nervous on the inside to contact them until I thought, okay, screw it. You know, I spent months preparing for this campaign. I'm just going to give it a shot. The key is again to ask explicitly and to ask directly. The person I knew was Team Draper. I went to his acceleration program. He happens to be a billionaire venture capitalist, so I was definitely nervous. I emailed him and I said, hey, we built this, crazy workflow automation that uses AI. Can you repost and send them a link to Twitter? And boom, here we go. Here's the post. He reposted our product hunt campaign, which was amazing. If you don't cringe on the inside a little bit, then you're probably doing it wrong. Finally, the moment somebody comments on your launch post, you want to respond to those comments, and ideally you want to follow up with people, maybe in DM, saying, hey, thank you for checking out our product. It would mean the world to me if you could share it around or repost. Finally, we have external community engagement. So we send some emails to our user base, etc. All of the things that I mentioned earlier. We can also leverage existing networks out there. And for that, we can post on Reddit or on Discord. You need to be very discreet and you need to know how to do this. You can be very direct, saying, hey, I happen to have created this thing. Here's why it matters. Here's why I care about the problem. Do not hard sell usually on those platforms unless you want to get banned. Just, be direct. But there are clever ways to engineer traction on both Discord and Reddit though. So you can also engage with communities beforehand so that your Reddit profile doesn't look like, you've been dormant for the last 3 years and you just go out there and spam the heck out of, communities. So you definitely want to avoid that. If you want help executing this, my team at Represent Studio does 2 things. We'll make killer product launch videos and we run full SaaS marketing launch campaigns for you. So you can grab the link down below to check out what we do, and for sure, duplicate this template and make your next launch go big. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.